Hey everyone, it's Matt from Train Sim Society. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend so far. So first off, in this video, I want to clear something up from my Leipzig to Dresden recap video. So in that video, I did connect what happened in Dresden with the timetable lockup and all of the trains stuck at reds in Dresden to dispatcher problems. Thankfully, what we've since learned is that the real cause was an IC train with a door issue, a door that wouldn't close, which meant it never moved and ended up blocking everything else around it. So the clarification here being that this was not a dispatcher problem that we saw in the stream, and I definitely should have worded that more carefully. I did make ties to the dispatcher because of other issues that we do see, and even though I do feel a little bit better that it wasn't that issue, it's still yet another bug that we saw in the stream, number one, and number two, it doesn't suddenly make all of the dispatcher concerns that we all have disappear. The bigger issues I've been talking about still exist, and I deal with them almost daily. We have trains that freeze and stop off path, and sometimes I even experience trains just stopping in the middle of their path and not moving, even if they're not sitting in front of a red signal. Those issues still exist, and to be honest, I doubt they're going away in TSW6. We haven't learned anything so far about the game that suggests there's any improvement to the core dispatcher and how it handles these predetermined paths and the timetable. So my concern and frustration is still there, but I wanted to clear that up as we now have word on why that IC service did stop moving. And honestly, I'm pretty confident that a lot of these issues will most likely continue into TSW6 because we do have new layers to the game that add random events and speed restrictions, which it is confirmed AI trains will follow. So that is going to deviate things in terms of where trains are in the timetable from where they should be at any particular time. And I'm definitely still worried the dispatcher system is going to struggle even more than it already does. And those concerns are completely valid to have. I know not everyone experiences them, but I definitely still do, especially on larger, more busier timetables. And these issues can be reproduced without mods. So with that clarified and out of the way, I want to move on to the Leipzig to Dresden Roundup video that Dovetail recently posted yesterday. So this one actually pulled together a lot of new shots and give us, I guess, a proper short showcase of the route. They highlighted some of the layers coming into play, like the main tow bond stock adding extra services along the line. And of course, for deluxe owners, we'll be getting the DBBR294, which is a freight loco many were curious to see in action. And we got a preview of it in our Leipzig to Dresden stream. I'm a fan of this thing. I think it looks awesome. It sounds great, at least in my opinion, and will give us a little more variety and things to do on the route. So the video also showed off some of the scenery and infrastructure we will be driving through. We saw many bridges, river crossings, and even rural stretches that really gave a sense of variety. We saw all of this during the stream. I really like the Riesa to Leipzig section. It's pretty much just straight shot fast running, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun for ICE runs. And also, you're sharing the tracks with rapid transit trains, so there will be times where you have to slow down. They made a big point of showing the route under different lighting conditions too, so we have a lot of daytime shots as well as some evening and sunset shots. I think those look nice. So definitely important to see how the visuals hold up across the day-night cycle. And stations were a big focus in this little roundup video too. Both Coswig and Friedrichstadt got their moment. We have some platform shots, S-Bahn traffic. Leipzig was given a proper interior look, showing off its concourse and sheer scale. There are a lot of platforms here. And right alongside that, they teased the new platform announcement system. So speakers are going to be mounted across stations that'll feed into the overall immersion. So sounds just won't be coming from anywhere. This was also confirmed that when you hear announcements, they're coming from an actual physical source like speakers. So those speakers have to be placed placed down in order for there to be announcements. There was also a nod to heritage content with museum layers with the E94 logo pack, so that adds a little more depth and variety to what we see in the game, and that will rotate throughout the different times of year in timetable mode. So all of that looked pretty good overall to me. There are still some points we can't ignore though. One of those is the ICET sounds. In the dev diary and in the Dovetail Direct stream, it was actually said that this specific train would be getting an audio update.
We were very fortunate with the ICET that we were able to get a very good reference trip for that. So we've gone back, looked at the audio that we obtained for that, anything that we may have missed in some of our edits, or things that we could just make some little improvements here and there on any feedback that we got last time we did the ICT. It's all about trying to make those little small steps this time around for TSW6 to try and improve on what we did before.
Unfortunately, that is not happening at launch. It has been confirmed that other priorities pushed it aside, which is disappointing, especially since many were really looking forward to that fix. And when you look at the reaction overall, both from the forums and YouTube comments underneath the stream, I feel like the community is a little mixed on this one. I focused more on my thoughts in my stream review video, so I kind of want to showcase what the community is bringing up and how they're feeling in general. So obviously, as we know, random events weren't enabled, train faults weren't working, and we saw that little hiccup in Dresden. Onboard announcements gave the wrong door sides. We had chatter blasting through the ICE quiet zone, and some folks even noticed missing OHLE and questionable lighting at Leipzig. I personally didn't notice the OHLE. I'm not saying it wasn't there, but definitely an oversight on my part. I went back by clicking some of those timestamps in the comments, and yes, unfortunately, even though the route is getting updated and extended, there are missing OHLE parts still. Console players especially are nervous about performance, with concerns about blurry textures and frame rate dips and even memory crashes still occurring in TSW6, fresh after TSW5. Honestly, that doesn't surprise me, and I don't think that's really gonna go anywhere, at least not for some time. Now, besides the critiques, there was some praise too. There were players that praised the scenery, and there were others that liked the look of the BR294. And I even saw a few mention that they appreciate Dovetail continuing to evolve existing routes rather than just building new ones. And I will say, I absolutely agree. I would love to see them go back and revisit older routes, bring them up to TSW6 standards, maybe add new stock. There are just so many routes that I really like that could use a massive update. One in particular, London Victoria to Brighton. Oh my gosh, such a great route, such a great timetable, but it is in dire need of an update. I honestly feel like Dovetail is probably terrified to touch that route because there is a lot going on there, but would love to see something done with that in the future. But the overall tone from the community is pretty cautious. A lot of folks feel like Dovetail is pushing for another yearly launch without enough polish behind it. That's where things stand. I've made my clarification about Dresden, but my overall concerns pretty much remain the same. Nothing has changed. Issues in the stream tied to the dispatcher system or not, those issues still exist. Nothing that's been shown so far convinces me that's changing, at least anytime soon. Leipzig to Dresden as a route looks promising in places, but there's still a long list of things that need attention if TSW6 is going to launch smoothly. I'm curious on what you guys think though. Are you still excited for this route, or do you share some of the same worries the community has mentioned both on the forums and in YouTube comments? Definitely let me know. Let me know what your concerns are. What are you happy with? What are you not happy with? What do you want to see improved? As always, thank you guys for watching. Take care, everyone, and happy rail simming.